TitleMatchNetwork.com.
A lot of the guys in books and in interviews, they've taken shots at Mark Marrow. I know you kind of went toe-to-toe with him a little bit on one of those interview shows. But as a worker, is he as bad as the guys say that he is? Or?
His work?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't I don't mean to stammer here, but say I was doing a book.
Yeah.
I have no intentions of ever just putting guys down that their work's the shits. I don't like this guy. I don't like that guy. The only reason I brought up the Buzz Vader thing is because I'm just point blank, and it's nothing I haven't told them to, told him to his face.
Yeah.
And that got straightened out. So, but I don't want to sit here and say,
oh, that's it. What is it with Vader and JBL? He had to get Vader straight. What is going on here? Now the other thing, who was it? Val Venus? Yeah, he said that he fell into a bag, and if it wasn't for that, he would have kicked this man's head off. So leave this man alone. But man, Vader, we know stiff from Japan with those forearms. I know what's his name? Duke the dumpster. He said those forearms were a pain in the ass. He said those forearms were rough. But what is it with this? People like to pick at Blackman and pick at like to pick at Blackman and pick at Ming. The last two people you want to be picking at. Damn.
His work's the shit, so it's a guy. I don't want to put guys down.
I didn't even ask you, but it's to the fact where almost every guy mentions him, at some point.
I think a lot of guys. I don't know if his work was all that good. I think a lot of guys just had a bitter taste in their mouth for him. So anything negative that can be said about him goes that way. I don't know why Mark came off bitter on some of those news programs we did. It makes it look like he's on a crusade here to clean some things up, which, who made you the self-appointed globe-trotting peacemaker or crusader of wrestling? It's calm down. But what gets me with Mark, I always got along with him. I did. The news show had pissed me off that one night, but I don't ever understand why he has a bitter tone in his voice at all for wrestling. Because I think, don't hold me to this either, but I think he was one of the first guys to have a guaranteed contract in there.
And I think that's a lot of the root of the bitterness from guys from that era.
Well, it may be the root of their bitterness, but he shouldn't have any bitterness.
Right.
What the hell is up your butt that you have to complain about when you had the first guaranteed contract for all those years?
Yeah.
You had it made.
Yeah.
Stop complaining, man. Calm down. Go enjoy your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I remember. That interview. Was it 2 parts? I'm thinking it was 2 parts. Yeah, they got into it live on the air. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, because that was a couple months ago. I did the reaction. But anyway, they got into it. It's just admit you did it, or something about the steroids or something. And then one guy said, the Benoit thing, it's supposed to be about Benoit. One guy said it wasn't a steroid. Another guy said it was hitting in the head. But I remember, now that I'm thinking about this, because I forgot about it when I went back to thinking about it now. Them chair shots, and not just the headbutt thing, falling off the ladder or whatever he was doing on that head, his eyes were, whoo! The way his eyes wasn't looking right. But you get hit and clipped in the back of the head. Side of the head, front of the head is this, and then Jim said that headbutt thing. He said it wasn't a headbutt. It wasn't the steroid. He said it was the concussion. And then somebody else said the roids. But your head, what they say, being like a meatball or what do you say? Like Mankind said one time about his head to being like scrambled eggs. That is no damn joke.
Not to get off topic, but, I never heard a peep out of him for the last 8-9 years about it. And then all of a sudden, he's on TV every 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's not like waiting. I didn't come out of the woodwork and just volunteer to do this TV shows. I don't know how those people knew to get a hold of me or why. Now, Benoit was one of my best friends, and I knew him longer than anyone, but closest to him.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie was by far closest. I'd say even Dean Malenko, Jericho, those guys were probably closer with him from years on the road. I knew Benoit from being in Stampede, and we were tight, and we were together every day. And then I just knew him for a longer period of time. I considered him one of my best friends because I knew I could trust him 100%. I knew he didn't, snitch on people. And back then he was a good guy, contrary to whatever happened down the road.
Yeah.
But and I lost my train of thought there.
About Mero popping up on the shows.
And about Mero popping up. So these news people, they contacted me. Like I said, and I don't know how they found out that I knew him so long. But a couple of those places called me 5 times a day.
Wow.
So I actually finally agreed to go ahead and do them. Now, I'm sure part of it was because nobody in WWF was allowed to do any. They put a gag order on them, so to speak, for...
Cut him off again. So he knew, before he even got up there, he knew Brett, Owen, Benoit, Bulldog, and Pillman, I guess. He knew them all way before he even got there. Well, so... Because I never heard of Steve Blackman until he got to WWF. So he knew them, like, I guess, probably 5-10 years before he got there.
A month and a half, and then that narrowed the choices down. So I'm sure that was a big part of it. But I still don't know how they got my number. I don't know how they knew to contact me or anything. And I was even on vacation, and one time I'm like, man, we're on vacation, we're at the beach. Well, they called me back an hour later. I know they were trying to get other guys, and maybe they weren't as knowledgeable on Chris, or maybe they just said flat out no. I'm finally like, all right, I'll do it, But after doing so many of them, it became monotonous. I was by the 5th or 6th one, I was just like tired of it.
Yeah.
What Chris did was just brutal. I feel worse for his family because they're the ones that still have to sit around and go through all the negative, comments made by people. I don't know what spurred it on, numerous headshots, combination of all the drugs, different things like that. I'm painkillers. I know they did a test on his brains that it looked like an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Something like that,
like that. Which I believe, because there's days a lot of us have trouble grasping our thoughts completely. And I don't mean just from chair shots. I mean just when you have 3,000 wrestling matches and you just land 10 times a night, it rattles you. When you get hit chairs 20 times, you land on the concrete floor, it's easy to have a couple dozen concussions. If I've had a dozen concussions, Benoit's had 25 concussions.
Yeah.
So.
And I guess you really don't know at the time if you had a concussion. You just keep wrestling if you're on the road.
Right. Now, I know there were times where I got checked where I had some, but then there were other nights where I hit my head even a lot harder, so I knew I was even worse off with those concussions than I was before. But I just didn't get them. I just didn't take time off.
Wow.
But I've seen Chris, and I don't mean just single us, I've seen many of the guys take a lot of hard shots.
Yeah.
So.
Did you get any heat from at the office or maybe any of your colleagues when you did those couple of shows, like Larry King and Nancy Grace? Anybody say, hey?
No, most of the guys were happy with what I was saying out there.
Yeah.
It's like, my whole thing is, those things are prevalent in sports. Steroids are prevalent, painkillers are prevalent. So, as an adult, you have to know what boundaries not to cross. Like I said to Miro on that one show, nobody's filling a platter with all this stuff and shoving it down your throat. These guys are adults; they make adult choices. Well, if you're injured, stop taking 20 Percocets a day and take 2 of them. If your liver's giving you problems, you're taking all these roids. Well, stop taking them for 2 months, and then cut back on them. It's not like somebody sits around and monitors. Now, like I said there too, could this drug testing be more stringent? Of course it could. But can it be more stringent in baseball, football, everything else? Of course it can. It's the same. And no owner of an organization making that much money is going to come out and just drug test everyone to the degree where he's suspending a bunch of the guys. Now, if he gets pressure on him from the outside, like Congress or something, well, of course he'll abide by it, I'm sure, and do what he has to, just like baseball and football.
Yeah.
But it's the same in every sport. So then trying to single out, wrestling or say, well, Benoit did this because of these, come on, we don't know how many. I haven't seen any serial killers get arrested before for taking steroids, so let's not start now.
TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Everything ain't roids. That's another thing. I remember when the Owen thing happened. That wasn't roids. The man fell out the damn thing when when the referee was gone, the referee wasn't on steroids. Now, come on now. I forgot who they talking about. Some referee. Okay, if the referee was on steroids, and I'm a damn pretty boy. Okay, referee wasn't $130 on steroids. I don't know about all that. So yeah, he's telling you everything ain't damn steroids. Yeah. But like Hillbilly Jim said, it's getting hit in the head thing, and taking all the painkillers and walking around. He said something. It ain't funny, but he's like now who's hurt up? Now who feels good? It's like then when the pain wears off, when the medicine wears off, then you say you got to take something stronger. Then it gets worse. So boy, but it's something. Yeah, but I remember that interview was hell because they were arguing. Him and Mark was arguing right on the live show on the news network, going back and forth. And yeah, because he was like, "Damn, why you getting so hard about it?" And that was something. Dang, is that I upload so many damn videos. I got to go back and see when the hell I uploaded that because that seemed like 2 years ago already because I've made so many videos since then. But yeah, man, this is everything. Everything ain't the roids. Man,